Gentlemen, would you like an update on our Spotify analytics?
Oh, go on then.
Yeah, Tom, are you still drinking wine on a Tuesday? Sorry, Chris, before you go, just obviously in the realm of concern for a fellow podcaster from the NDP stables. It's only Tuesday. Obviously, this is pre-recorded, so don't phone in if you're going to vote. What, you must have had a really shit day, Tom, to be on the wine already.
No, I just fancied it. No, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's because I'm playing some guy with wood elves at the weekend. We'll get some courage.
He's a twat. You'll beat him. Don't worry.
What team are you using? This is leagues. This is going to be humans, isn't it?
Yeah.
Humans versus wood elves.
Big one.
So it's us humans against wood elves. Yeah.
Well, I want to try and call that game.
We have another drink and another good slurp.
Go on, Chris. Call it. Be controversial.
Let's okay. Remembering how the last game went for both of you. 2-1 Wood Elves. Roll the intro. Hello everyone, welcome to New Dice Please, the bite-sized Blood Bowl podcast brought to you by the people at Blood Bowl Live. My name is Chris and I am joined once again by Mr. Scott Bryan. Scott, what's your favourite yogurt?
Favourite yogurt is Greek.
Perfect. And joining us as always, Mr. Tom Hovell. Tom, favourite yogurt?
Strawberry.
Good choice. I like Miller Corners with the apricot. It's my go-to.
Nice.
So that was a random favourite. I was maybe expecting things, Chris, from the darkness of your mind, like what's your favourite size of paper, yogurt.
I haven't
cheese.
Quite run out
have you,
ideas. Cheese was the last one. Maybe I'm on kind of dairy fix. Clearly.
Or have you done your online shop this evening?
The next one, I'll say it now. The next one will be what's your favourite milk? But we'll cover that next time. Anyway, moving on. We are continuing our look into what would happen if we had more money than sense. The last time we talked about more money than sense, we looked at the incredible rat roster put to us by Mr. Scott Bryan. And this week, we will be looking at the roster put together by myself. I was a bit torn. I started with a human lineup. I did have a little bit of play with lizards. I also had a little look at ogres and made a full ogre lineup as well, which was looked very frustrating to play against. It looked more scary to play against than to play as. But I landed on Chaos Chosen. I landed on the Beastmen all along.
Why not the ducks? Why not your lizardmen team? Yeah. You know, the apple in your eye. You know, the crown in you, the jewel in your crown. Why not the ducks?
I think I didn't go for the ducks because I was struggling. I started making the roster, and I was like, this feels like a great optimized roster. And it didn't feel like fun to have not earned it. Didn't feel right. Something felt wrong. I looked at them. I was like, I've got a combination of block, tackle, wrestle, and mighty blow on all these pieces. I've got like the catch and the sidestep all over here, and I'm like, if I didn't die trying, then it didn't feel right. So I thought I'll park them. And I'll pick up some goats instead, and we'll see how the goats do.
Okay, so let us know what's on the roster then.
So 3 rerolls to start with, and I did chuck an APOC in there as well because I thought, good money.
Just for clarification, for those who haven't heard the first one of these.
Oh, we should redo. Yes, we should remind of the rules. Well done, Tom. So, rules: 2 million budget. Skills cost you 20k for a primary. 20k for a primary, 40k for a secondary. You can't repeat the same additional skill 3 times, but if the team already has a set skill, it's additional, not pre-existing. And you can't have more than 6 skills per player, and you can't have stat increases. So this team has 14 players in it. It has 1 Minotaur. It has 13 Beastmen runners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those Beastmen runners have 0 additional skills. They are just vanilla Beastmen runners with horns.
So you've gone all in for just 7 key players,
well,
haven't you?
I've got some 7 beefy boys right here ready to play. So let's start with the Minotaur, shall we? So already comes with Loner, Frenzy, Horns, Mighty Blow +1, Thick Skull, Unchanneled Fury. I thought we'll chuck Break Tackle in there as well in order to get out of tricky situations. Let's chuck Claws in there as well to break armor on an 8 all the time.
Sorry, Chris, what's the edge on a Minotaur?
4+.
Okay, so you Break Tackle on in effect 2+.
Yep.
Cool.
We've got Claws in there to break armor on an 8.
Yep.
We put Ironhard Skin in there as well to try and keep them on the field as much as possible. Juggernaut, a very good skill on a Minotaur, and then Block and Dodge as well. Why not? So they are not going down very easily. If you do get them down, you're not gang fouling them, and hopefully they are powering their way out of tricky situations as well.
So you've only got 90k left after that. Just doing the sums.
Yeah, I've got loads more left after that.
So how much is your Minotaur in terms of what's your
his value is 310. So we've then got our 2 blitzers. Okay. So two guys have got exactly the same skills. They've both got block, they've both got claws, they've both got Ironhard Skin, they've both got Mighty Blow +1, they've both got tackle, and they've both got dodge. They are basically small Minotaurs at this point.
That's evil.
Then we've got our kind of our golden. These are our kind of headline strikers. These are our touchdown scorers. So all 3 of them have got horns, big hand, extra arms, monstrous mouths, and 2 heads.
Nice.
And 2 of them have got foul appearance.
That is yeah.
And then just to top it all off, we've got our captain, who is there just in case. He's there just to give us an extra threat. He's got kick, sure hands, accurate, and leader. And that is our team. So the Minotaur alone is worth 310. The 2 blitzers are worth 200k each. It's I did have a team of spread out skills, like a really balanced spread out team, and then I thought, nah, screw this, that's boring. Let's properly stock up a couple of players, but enough in each position. So you've got 2 different blitzers there, you've got 3 different possible scorers, you've got an extra reroll in leader. I think you've got some pretty tough players to get rid of there.
I like tackle on your Minotaur and your blitzers. You haven't put it on your 3 other guys, your 3 golden guys, as you've called them. You have to paint them yellow now. Okay. So I'm just thinking, if you've got nothing, what are your core skills? Anything, or is it?
It's just horns across
just horns,
the board,
isn't it? So you haven't got frenzy.
Nope.
So you're going to be breaking armor mostly on an 8 if you get a POW.
The blitzers I gave claws to, so yeah, breaking armor on an 8.
Yeah, that's going to be armor on an 8, which for Skaven and Wood Elves is there because they're armor 8 anyway. You haven't got I'm just looking at that thinking, I think your Minotaur is ridiculously evil. I think he's an absolute beast above and beyond.
He is a bastard, man. He is horrendous. I built him. I looked at him and I went, yep, that's yep. I had to by the time I'd given him break, tackle, claws, juggernaut, block, and dodge, I thought I've got to give him Ironhard Skin because I've got to protect him against gang fouling.
because equally that's clearly going to be the main blitzer, isn't it? If you're literally going to be blitzing every turn with your Minotaur.
I mean, probably, yeah. But the other two, the other two with block, claws, iron hard skin, mighty blow, tackle, dodge, are going to be just as good if I need them to go out.
Yeah,
and do
absolutely. No,
Can you show? Is there? Okay, go on, Tom. I'll ask my question shortly.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, it's an interesting one because, as I say, the two block, claws, iron hard skin, tackle guys, because horns is pretty much redundant if you don't blitz with them. If I'm right, is that right?
Yes.
It doesn't really do anything. It can only activate on a blitz.
It's only on a blitz.
Yeah. So I suppose the block gives them something. The claws is quite good. Tackle's good on them because again you can just stand them next to players, and then you can get a free block out of them.
And of course, if you block or blitz with tackle, it negates the dodge skill.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Don't forget it does. So it gives you that extra. If you basically, instead of therefore, if they are blocking or blitzing, whoever they're blocking and blitzing, instead of just a 1 in 6, you need a power. You've got 2 in 6 because you can negate the dodge skill. So if it's a stumble.
I think the other thing, what I could have done is I could have maybe dropped the foul appearances on the two scorers, and instead just given 2 regular beastmen runners guard, and kind of had them buddy them up with the blitzers, so that even if you're either then blitzing on a 5 because you've got your guard assist, or you're just blocking on a 4. But I thought I hadn't really given any protection to the people who are planning to score. So foul appearance just immediately gives you a little bit of, it just gives you a roll before you can take that hit.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, like you say, they are pretty exposed, aren't they? They've got everything to pick up the ball and run with it with the agility of 2 heads. But if they try and make a break for it and they're out in the open, they haven't really got much defense, have they?
No, armor 3, strength 3, armor 9. So not as exposed as a gutter runner or a skink, but yeah, that's why I thought that the foul appearance maybe just gave them a little bit better in defense.
And equally, Chaos Chosen, they're all pretty much the same speed. So you're not really going to make a break for it. You're more or less going to go up as one central unit, aren't you? Much more, yeah.
And my 2 things, I'll go back to your Minotaur. He's still armor 9, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
So is the iron hard skin the Chorf's updated iron hard skin or the old iron hard skin?
Yeah, new Chorf updated iron hard skin.
So he's always going to be a 9 minimum.
Yeah. I thought he needed that, because nobody would blame you for gang fouling the crap out of that Minotaur to try to get it off. So that's why my 3 blitzes, I think there's the potential there to do so much damage that I had to give them a little bit more. I had to just give them something to stop, a bunch of snotlings gathering round and kicking the life out of them.
So your team is all about the physical power and the but okay, question: do you think, because if I'm playing these, and hopefully we will put that match on the table, of course I'm just going to target your 7 guys who have got no skills at all.
Sure, go for it.
So you can obviously, I'll probably end up targeting my own linemen. That's fine because that's what roguers do.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
So okay, that'd be an interesting one as well. No, I'm not going to change mine. Man, no, you got to live with. You got to live the moment. What you've done, you've got to roll those dice. Are you concerned that if you end up with something with just these players on the pitch, you end up with what you're going to? I suppose you could lose 4 because you'll have all your 7 skilled players on the pitch. So you still have a number of bodies on there. Do you think 7 is going to be enough?
Yeah. I think so. I've got the APOC as well to kind of prevent against somebody going. And I actually kind of picture using the APOC to turn a knockout into a stun rather than actually, put someone on the bench, keep someone on the pitch, because I cannot worry too much about leaving the Minotaur or those two other Ironhard skin players down on the pitch, just as a body in the way, because the Ironhard skin stops them from being gang fouled 2 turns in a row. So I'll leave them stunned. If they're in the way, I'll prefer them in the way and on the pitch than off the pitch.
And equally, let's be honest, you've got 14 players. You're going to have to be going some to get them get his team down to less than 11 players.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm hoping, Tom. Yeah.
Well, look, that's my lineup. That's my.
I like that. I'd be quite
there.
terrified of facing that.
It's different, isn't it? It's
if you had only 11 or 12 players, even with an APOC, I'd think, okay, you lose 1 or 2 players, but the fact we'll have 14 players each, or maybe we have to introduce, a more random chance, so therefore on the kickoff event you might be able to lose players.
Possibly.
We'll think about it.
We'll
I think that could be.
And equally, you've got to you've put all your money on black, effectively, haven't you? Where you've done only a few of them, and then you've got some sacrificial goats.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly what a goat is for.
I'm really intrigued now. We've in the previous episode we heard about the rats. We've now heard about the goats. Tom, there is so much mystery now. You've not given us anything away. Tell us, sir, what have you spent your millions on?
So, I've gone for orcs.
Okay, so 2 bashy teams.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
So my kind of thoughts on this are all around staying on the pitch. I have a hard enough time just rolling dice and killing myself, so I just wanted some safety on there. Equally, as we've said, you can take advantage of built-in skills, and obviously with orcs you've got block on 4. You've also got 4 strength 4 players as well. So my setup is I've got 4 rerolls. Okay, I've got 4 big and blockers, 3 of which all have the same 3 skills, which is block, guard, stand firm.
Okay.
So I've got 3 big and blockers with block, guard, stand firm. I've got 1 big and blocker with nothing.
So on those, just to confirm then, so the only thing that will take them down is a stumble or a because they stumble or a pow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 with block, guard, stand firm. Yeah.
Yep. Strength 4 and armor 10. I then got 4 blitzers. So 3 of which have got block, juggernaut, mighty blow, catch. Okay, so that's 3 of them.
They're edge 3, aren't they?
They're edge 3. Yeah. So
that's an interesting combo, Tom, in terms of, I suppose, 3 up with a reroll for catch.
For catch, yeah.
Okay.
The 4th blitzer has got block. Well, obviously got block, but he's got dauntless. Okay. So just got dauntless. I've then got a thrower. The thrower already has built-in pass and sure hands. He also now has accurate, leader, and nerves of steel.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. And then I've got 3 linemen. All have additional tackle and wrestle because I've used up the blocks on my big and blockers. And one of them has an additional skill of kick. And then I round off the last 2 places with 2 goblins who have obviously got built-in dodge, right stuff, stunty. One of them has sneaky git and dirty player. The other one has sidestep, sprint, strip ball.
So a few different rosters I put together. 3 or 4 in a row, I ended up just with a single dirty player, sneaky git player just left at the end. just in case. I like this. I like this a lot. So can I just go back to the big uns, because you said you got 4 big uns.
Yep.
3 of which you have given guard, stand firm, and block to.
Correct.
What happened to the 4th one?
You're right there, Scott.
Yeah, I think my volume's gone. Hang on.
Oh, okay. Scott was clicking at us. While Scott sorts himself out, what happened to that 4th one?
I ran out of money.
I guess he's still a strength 4 armor 10
Strength 4
sort
armor
of
10.
block on, a sacrificial standing on the line, isn't he? And I guess because you've got guard across all of those, you can just sandwich him in between the two, and pretty much he's pretty much got the assists. He doesn't need to worry.
Yeah, he can be your last dice roll kind of thing.
Just on that, Tom, you've got, of your 4 blitzers, you've got 3 who you've really souped up with block, juggernaut, mighty blow, and catch. You've got that 4th blitzer then, so you've got block on him, and then you've added dauntless. Why dauntless? Because you've got so many guard pieces to give you the assist, so it means you've got to roll a dice. If so, who are you going to be blocking? Who are you going to be using that skill against?
So that kind of scenario was going to be a safety piece. So, say for example, you're up on the line of scrimmage. You've used all your big uns on that side of things, and you've broken through. For example, someone's put a whole load of rats on the front line, and they put their rat ogre a couple of lines back. So I can use him to run up and have a little pop at the big guy.
You've got to put an assist in anyway, because even if you get the dauntless roll, you match. Let's say it's a rogue strength 5. So it's going to be. Is your plan then to run an assist in and then use him as your piece to
potentially
block? Okay,
but one dice with block is good. One dice with block is good odds. Like I quite like, because we've all probably had it, like where you're getting near the end of the game, maybe like your opposition's made a break for it, like you kind of need a hero in your team. You need a last hurrah, and having a dauntless blitzer, so they're already got block, movement 6.
Movement 6, strength 3, armor
9, armor 10.
10.
Movement 6, strength 3, armor 10 to be your Hail Mary, running down, double rush, 1 dice with block. It's a good little thing in your back pocket in that team. I would almost even be tempted, like if you've got the numbers, to decide kind of when I choose to play that player as well. Like, do I always put that one on the pitch? Are they my like second half hero to come in and win me the game?
Well, that's the thing. It was like, the fact is, you could almost say, well, you've got that big and block with nothing on him, but you could say, well, actually, you don't maybe not have him on the pitch because you've done enough, and you can just want to do some fouling, so you can bring on the goblins, or as you quite rightly say, you can bring on a blitzer just with dauntless and keep them in reserve and just have the goblins on or something.
Strength 4 sub, a strength 4 sub that you're like, I don't need to play this guy, but I can bring him on if I need to, is a hell of a thing to have in your back pocket.
Do you need as well? Is there an option as well? Because I like the idea where you've got your goblins. You've obviously got one of your goblins, you said there, with his usual skills, but you've given him sidestep, strip ball as well, yeah?
Yeah.
What about if you gave that guy, because he's got dodge inbuilt?
Yep.
What about if you give that guy block, and then you've got a blodger, I know he's only he'll always be 2 dice uphill, but if you want someone to go 3 up, 3 up, 3 up, and then just go into a cage, and then thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it was the fact that on the goblins, that would be a secondary skill.
Yes, is.
It's a secondary skill, and it would just be too much on that side of things, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think gut tells me if we had put stat increases in the budget, then I think you'd have some very different, because I imagine if we had allowed stat increases, Scott, you would either have a strength 3 or a movement 10 gutter runner. Tom, Like if it was me with the lizards, I would be tempted with a strength 3 skink just to give them a little bit. Like, I wouldn't go for the movement. I would go for the strength increase if I could. So I don't know whether you would consider a strength 3 goblin in the, like with the stunty and with the dodge in there. Like so to be cage diving, maybe like strength 3 dauntless goblin to just bomb inside.
So when I was looking at it, and we were talking about what are the rules, and I had to clarify: is stats going to be one of them? And you said no. Unfortunately, I had a goblin team, which was just all linemen with stat increases of strength and also up to 3, and all of them had dauntless, and that was 2 million.
That would be incredible, wouldn't it? That would just be.
That would be.
How does dauntless work with horns? I'm assuming they don't stack.
Just to read the rules, when this player performs a block on its own as part of a blitz action, if the nominated target has a higher strength characteristic than this player, before counting offensive or defensive assists, but after applying any other modifiers, so that's after.
So it's after horns, isn't it? So you've already gained your increase with horns, and then you're dauntlessing to go even further. So they
but it says though, roll a d6, add this player's strength. So let's say you're doing a strength 3 against a basic blitzer there against a roger. So you got strength 3 against a 5. Yeah, it's going to be strength 4 against 5, so you're still going to be 2 dice uphill.
So it's going to be a better roll. Dauntless roll is going to be easier.
Yeah, roll a d6, add this player's strength characteristic. If the total is higher than the target strength, so you need a 2. This player increases their strength to be equal to that before any assists are counted. So you'd only go up to a 5.
Yeah. So, but using, if you had horns as well as dauntless, then you are comparing a 3 to a 5, a 4 to a 5 rather than a 3 to a 5. So you need to roll a 2 on the die rather than a 3. So it makes your dauntless more likely to succeed.
Yeah.
Gobbos with horns and dauntless and stat increases. That's a dangerous world to live in, isn't it?
I've just only thought of it. If you have underworld goblins with the underworld denizens, they got mutations on their primary, so you give them iron hard skin and then give them dauntless as well.
And why not chuck claws in there?
Yeah.
make them a cage breaker who's breaking armor on an 8.
Let's see what we can do here.
God, we're giving Scott Norman ideas now, aren't we?
You can only have 12 of them though. The rest can be snotlings.
Plus, again, Chris, if you've got 6 skills, as we've said, if you give the gobbo 2, sorry, did you say it was snotlings? If you give the snotling 2 heads, so what's his edge normally? 3 up.
3 up.
So
3 up. He's dodging on a 2 because of Titchy.
2 up. Plus, you've got a +1 modifier.
So
he's just walking in and saying, "Right, I'll have you, son. Give me the ball." and I'm walking out again.
So look,
Anyway,
we've looked at all 3. Then we've got the high cost rats, the high cost orcs, and the high cost goats. Final question, would either of you, firstly, which of the opponent teams do you fear most, and which one would you most like to try yourself?
In terms of the one I would fear the most, I have to say it would probably be, sorry, Tom, it'll probably be the goats, because of that Minotaur is terrifying. That would be I can see him being an absolute killing machine animal. But then you got 4 blitzers with, block, juggernaut, mighty blow, and catch. But then you can only use 1 juggernaut per blitz, can't you? Because it's only a blitz skill. So it's only once per round. Based on that, I think for me, I'd be more worried about the goats. The one I'd rather play, though, I might do I'd look at a few tweaks on the Orcs maybe for the Gobos, but I probably would play the Orcs.
I think I fear those Orcs. I've had games recently against Orcs where they're already meat shields, and you've got an even meatier meat shield there, with the prospect of a breakaway blitzer and better throwing capability. So I think I fear that more because I don't think I could smash my way through it. But I would probably play the rats. I would love, mainly it's the gutter runner with catch, and it's the cloud bursting cannoneer accurate thrower. Like my thrower would just be sat at the back with the ball for as long as I need to then do the longest, most ridiculous passes I can at some point during the game. So yeah, I think I would play the rats, but I would be scared of the Orcs. Tom, what do you think?
I think, ironically, I think I'd actually be more scared of the rats from my perspective, because I've got two different types, haven't I? I've got an agile team and I've got kind of a bashy side opponent. And thinking about those rats and how quick they are, and as you've quite rightly set them up to be really, really good ball handlers and just move that ball around the pitch. For an Orc team, they haven't got much movement, and they've got to kind of say pretty central. So you can, if you start stretching out the team, that can put me in, start to show, even though I've got all that strength and block and tackle and guard, once you start spreading them out, then you start to have a bit of a problem. So I think that's the one I fear the most. Ironically, I would like to see how they go up against your Chaos chosen team. I would like to see how that happens, how that works. Whether it's the fact that we just don't move from the line of scrimmage and just keep bashing each other, going backwards and forwards, or and equally putting all your eggs in one basket as you've done. How does that give you more benefits or less? Because I was thinking about that myself, and that's why I didn't do that, and I spread the skills across it, because I thought, well, if someone gets a lucky punch and I'm on the floor, it takes me a turn to get back up, that kind of thing. So it'd be interesting to see. Both games would be very interesting to see.
So based on our discussions, gentlemen, are you thinking of making any changes to your roster before we finalize and possibly take them through to a little round robin tournament?
No, I'm happy.
I'm comfortable with mine, I think. I know that there's some things that potentially might be a little bit different, but I think I'm happy with what I've got.
What about you, Scott? I feel like you're making changes now. I feel like I can see the Excel spreadsheet in the reflection of your glasses.
I can see it. I'm going to change the catch on the gutter runner to leader. Just so it does that. No. The other one I'm thinking of, given there's so much against me, if I'm going to chuck a gutter runner in with block, leap, strip ball, and sure hands to pick it up. The one I was looking at was possibly Juggernaut, because on the blitz, of course, it turns a block into a push. Sorry, a both down into a push. So if you've got block, that becomes a push, which means then strip ball is activated. Plus, of course, stand firm isn't a thing, but you guys don't have stand firm anyway. So that's the only thing I would. Then stand firm. Oh yeah, you do have on your big guns, don't you? So stand firm is going to always be a good one if they happen to have the ball, or if I want to do some 2 dice uphill craziness. That's the only thing I think I would possibly.
And I've also got wrestle.
Yeah, I've also got with wrestle, with tackle, and with diving tackle. If I wasn't playing you two, then that would be a great combo. But I'm playing you two, and it's like, they're not exactly dodgy teams, are they? They'll go straight through, not around. So Juggernaut would be my only one. Would I replace it with something? Possibly. I'd have to wait and see.
Get the jugs on that, Roger. You'll have a great time. Well, if you have listened to these additional 2 teams, or the first team, Scott's team from the previous episode, or if you've got your own £2 million roster that you want to tell us about, hey Scott, how do people get in touch?
Hey Chris, that was a bit of a creepy hey, but I'll take it.
Sorry.
if people want to get in touch and tell us what they think would be a good 2 million roster, if they've got any comments or thoughts on ours, have we missed anything? Should we be are there any teams they think we would enjoy doing as much in our mini campaign as well? Let us know. Just send us an email. Ooh, bit of feedback there. Is that the wine, Tom? And
No. It's stuff coming in to New Dice Please live.
What the unwins delivery? Next case. Anyway, they can email us newdiceplease, all one word, all lowercase, newdiceplease@gmail.com. And Tom, if they want to get any feedback in terms of wines or alcohol or anything in particular after a bad day, responsibly, of course, how can they do that? How can they see us, listen to us?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can get us on Instagram on New Dice Please. We would love to hear from you. We post up there fairly regularly as to when we're dropping our podcast every Thursday. And you can also get us on YouTube at New Dice Please, so you can see us as well as listen to us. And you can listen if you're in the car or anywhere on a dog walk or wanted to just listen to our doses voices. You can get us on Spotify or any of the other podcast operators.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We have been New Dice Please, and we will see you next time.